Beach Blast is a cool opportunity to fly paramotors while being within walking distance of premier accommodations. That's unique in the history of our sport. It also enjoys wide vendor support and frequently all-day flying. A PPG-2 rating is required, and the site has some significant challenges under some conditions, so the flying is not for everyone. The rules, including ratings, are required by the city and insurer. We don't address most of those. This concentrates on the flying challenges. A split LZ attempts to put launching pilots upwind of landing pilots, an arrangement that has proven to be the safest and easiest for large numbers of pilots, especially in tight spaces. Flying is not allowed with any wind over the back. That's a practice better reserved for converting props into firewood. If the wind has any easterly component, takeoff is here, landing is here. If there's any westerly component, it's arranged the other way around. There's a no transgression zone in the middle. If the wind is straight in, organizers try to pick an arrangement that matches the wind forecast. As we all know, that's not perfect, so it's possible you could wind up landing in the landing area while the wind has just switched and they haven't turned the LZ around. These techniques will still help. The no-fly areas must be avoided if we are to expect the event to continue. Since organizers cannot restrict people walking along the beach, your launch path must give them a wide berth. If you are not comfortable doing this consistently, wait for conditions when you are, usually with more wind. Unfortunately, there's no way to avoid flying over water since we must avoid flying over people. Inflate into the wind as always, then steer to avoid the prohibited areas. This gets more difficult if the wind direction becomes more parallel to the water. The hardest and most dangerous part is landing. That's because if the wind is more or less straight in, the required flight path has a downwind portion. Descend for approach so as to be about 50 feet here, then throttle back as needed. Don't shut off the motor in case congestion or planning mistakes necessitate a go-around. Come in parallel to the shore, crabbing into the wind as needed to stay over water. Passing this corner, turn in, then, almost right away, turn back to parallel the shore, descending. Before touchdown, turn slightly into the wind, but always land wing level. And don't do steep turns, that's where pilots get hurt. This is easy if the wind is paralleling the beach. But if the wind is coming nearly straight in, this turn heads you towards the buildings with a tailwind. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not careful. It would be better to underturn and have to do a go-around than to try so hard you wind up in a steep turn and crash into something. Don't do anything more aggressively here than you've done many times before. We only want to hit the air. Thankfully, if the wind is a bit stronger, you don't have to turn very far here since the wind will blow you back. This is among the more challenging sites in some conditions, so it may be worth practicing these maneuvers at home before coming. And hey, that's just another excuse to go fly. Thanks for caring enough to watch, and enjoy Beach Blast.